Nora and Jacob, thanks so much for taking time to speak with us today. So this question is kind of a two-part question for both Nora and Jacob. Nora, I spent some time in Afghanistan in 2011, so I can appreciate the serious themes that were included in your previous film, The Breadwinner. But My Father's Dragon is clearly a vastly different film in tone and genre, emotional depth. What implored you to turn this story into your next feature film? And then Jacob, what about this story made you excited to take on the role of Elmer?
That's a great questions. While The Breadwinner and My Father's Dragon are very different in terms of the subject matter, there is a similarity in that we're bringing the world of a child. We're bringing an audience through the lens, through the eyes of a child, and I think that's something that I'm always interested in telling, like the story of a child's experience, in a kind of non-judgmental way, or in a way that's not kind of like forefronting, morals or messages or anything like that. And I think that Elmer, while he's not going through the seriousness of what Parvana does in The Breadwinner, he's going through some pretty tough times. There's undertones of financial hardship in the film. There's undertones of a child feeling powerless in My Father's Dragon. And while there's a big epic adventure, and there's a lot of humor, and there's a lot of kind of playful imagination, there are many layers to this story, and empowering Elmer to try to resolve his own issues, but also free him from having to resolve the issues of his mom in the situation, is something that we really, really wanted to explore. So yes, it's quite different, but in ways there's a through line through the work, through the eyes of children.
And I really wanted to play Elmer because I felt like he was just so ambitious, and I love his dynamic between Boris and Elmer, and how they really complement each other so well. I mean, they're so different from each other, yet so similar in the same way.
And I really enjoyed the friendship between Boris and Elmer in the film. I think it speaks to my own childhood, where I always imagined having a creature, like your best friend, right? But an animal that can talk. So my question is for both of you. And Jacob, you can go first if you want. If you had to pick an animal, real or mythical, to go on an adventure with, what would it be and why?
That is a great question. I think for me, probably a Pegasus or something like that, because, well, obviously, it's a horse, so easy to kind of learn how to ride, I guess. But then at the same time, it has wings, so you can also fly. I think a dragon would be a bit too spiky to sit on sometimes.
That's not too dissimilar from what I was going to say. I was going to say unicorn, because I thought, that the whole magic thing would come in handy. And then if things got rough, you could always sell the horn. I'm sure there's a good going price on the market for a unicorn.
That's very true, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.